Okay, so will London be in Hogwarts Legacy? This is a huge question because it sort of answers a lot of other questions. But in today's video, I'm going to be trying to answer it. But before we do that, I just wanted to say that only 0.4% of people are subscribed to my channel who watch my videos. So if you end up watching this video and enjoying it, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Now, some people I've heard talking about London in Hogwarts Legacy think it's going to be some sort of one-to-one scale Assassin's Creed Syndicate type thing, you know, where the whole city is just sort of open to explore. And frankly, I don't think that version of London will happen, simply because, you know, the focus of the game isn't London, the focus of the game is Hogwarts. So they're not going to put so much effort, you know, to make it a one-to-one scale sort of thing, if it's not the focus of the game. So if it's not a one-to-one scale, you know, full-size London, what can we expect? And some people have been questioning whether or not, you know, London will be in the game at all. And to me, it's pretty obvious. London sort of has to be in the game because King's Cross is in London, where you board the, you know, Hogwarts Express. Diagon Alley is in the game. We know that. I mean, it basically has to be, which means that Leaky Cauldron has to be in the game, which means, you know, how do you get in the Leaky Cauldron? London, right? What are you going to do? Just like fast travel right, you know, into Leaky Cauldron? They're just like spit out of the fireplace, and there's just like a locked door that never opens. Like, what? Like, that'd be weird. That'd be, you know, sort of, it'd be strange, right? And then how you get to King's Cross? Just, I mean, there's no fireplaces in King's Cross. You can't use the Flume network. You know, the only way to get into King's Cross is, you know, through the door, right? Muggle entrance, you got to go through. London has to be in the game, or you know, these places, it'll be weird to access them. It'll you know, it won't feel very realistic to access them. It'll feel sort of like, you know, immersion breaking. So some form of London has to be in the game. So what form, you know, will that London take? You know, will it be an open world sort of London, or will it be a more linear scripted, you know, smaller London? And I think the answer is somewhere in between. And what I mean by this is I think it's going to be a more linear environment made to feel more like an open world environment. So what I think we're going to get is a few blocks of London. I think we're going to get the Leaky Cauldron. I think we're going to get King's Cross. And I also think we're going to get the characters' home or wherever they're living, like maybe an orphanage or something like that. And that's because I don't think they're going to go into all this work, you know, to build London. And then, you know, slap the characters, you know, living location, wherever they live, you know, somewhere else. That'd be strange. They just sort of add work on. And we've never really had, like, you know, nobody in Harry Potter lived in London, as far as I know. I don't know about that. I might be wrong. But I don't think any of the characters, I know Ron didn't, I know Harry didn't, I forget Hermione might have. I forget where Hermione lived. But either way, so, you know, it'd be interesting to have a character that lived in London, that lives in London. I know Sirius did live in London. That's one. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. But anyway, yeah, I think it'd be nice, you know, I think it'd be an interesting sort of change to have, you know, a main character that lives in London. And you know, it'd be interesting to sort of maybe start off the game, you know, wherever we live, and maybe, you know, through various ways, whatever, I don't know. But either way, it'd be interesting to start off the game going through London to, you know, King's Cross, to then go to Hogwarts. But I'm not sure even we start off the game, you know, going to King's Cross, because I know that our character arrives in a carriage. So it's quite possible that we won't even go to King's Cross until, like, maybe the 6th year. So then we get a letter in the 5th year. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that. But I think it's extremely likely that our character will live in London. If there is London, I think our character is going to live there. Okay, so that's my answer to will London be in Hogwarts Legacy. I think yes, it is extremely likely that in some form it will be in the game. But before we end this video, I just wanted to say that I've created a Discord server for this channel. So if you love Hogwarts Legacy and just want to ask questions and talk about it, you can join that. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.